company and his phone number was on the car. I'm like, you know that I'm grumpy when I'm pulling numbers off cars and like calling HR at 8 a.m. to somebody to yell because the guy is on his phone.
You did this. I feel like you might have an affinity for this because this trucker moved over and almost sideswiped us in California, and you were like, take a picture of his license plate.
His number. He almost killed us. And so normally I listen to my worship music in the morning and I get in the groove and I sing so my voice sounds better and I'm not as raspy as Lynn's, you know?
Hey.
But no, I'll never be as raspy as her. But this morning I was not in worship mode. I was yelling at this guy, and then I had to listen to Led Zeppelin to and now I get it. Like I needed hard rock music. Like I needed to be grumpy.
Let this be an example for you guys, because I, on the opposite, listened to like Christian rock on the way here, and it was like that worship, like God is on the move, on the move, and I was like worshiping and throwing my hands up.
No wonder you're
and
so
now that's why I'm in a good mood. I think the Holy Spirit was like, "Wake up, girl!
Yeah,
I'm here."
I'm like just. I need some of that on me.
Okay.
So, we're back.
Dear sweet Jesus, I pray over Brandie. Okay, Braeden, would you like to talk?
I'm here. Anytime. Well,
can you tell why we like having our own radio show? Mm-hmm. No one can shut us up.
I can tell. I love it.
We want to talk about homeschooling, your feelings on that, how it felt to be homeschooled, and did you feel like you were missing out, or how do you think it shaped who you are as an adult? All of those things.
Yeah, no, I don't think I missed out on anything in homeschooling. I was let out of the basement once a week, twice they were great.
They threw you a sandwich and stuff like that?
Oh, my gosh.
Mm-hmm. I would have to catch squirrels and stuff passing by. It taught me real survival skills, you know?
That's awesome.
We don't even need a laugh track.
I know,
That's
right?
Like, perfect.
It was a blast. The one thing I didn't like was Latin. But other than that, I mean, I guess it's kind of cool that I could, read stuff in Summon Dragons and whatnot. But
and
so did your mom do it, or was it tutored?
So we did it's called a co-op, I believe, where you do all the work at home, and once a week you go to a church or some building that lends its facilities, and you get with all the other kids that are quote unquote in your grade, and you the next week. You review what you did the previous week, and you just kind of quickly say, all right, so next week bring back this, and the other thing. We're going to read reading, we're going to have a debate, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And it was kind of, that's what gave you the social aspect of homeschooling, So there were a lot of group activities, and there was a lot of, practicing being in the real world. We did so many debates all throughout high school where we would just get a random partner. Like, usually the teacher goes, oh, pick a partner, and you always go with your best friend just because you can goof off and stuff. The teacher would pick your partner for you, and you would have to make it work because you would want to win because your mom would be there watching you. And so the debates got really interesting, and my mom scared myself and every other kid there, and a lot of the parents, too. So we really did our work.
Your mom is quite intimidating. Have you ever seen or
I've only seen pictures of her.
She's lovely, but the way that she kind of like drives her point into your soul with her eyes, you're like, are you mad at me?
Okay, so Linz, will you explain where this is coming from? Because she interviewed you.
Yes. Okay, so Braeden, I don't know if you know this, but you know the documentary that your mom was featured in called Liberty Lockdown?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah.
So I was in that documentary as well. I was the salon owner in Oregon. And so recently, one of my associates connected me with Sam about getting on her podcast. And I said, I already know her. I met her son a few weeks ago at AmFest, and I was in a documentary with her. And so I think it was the week before last, she interviewed me. And I actually do not get nervous on podcasts, but she just has a way of making you nervous. I don't know why. She's very intimidating. She's very bold, and when she makes a point, you're like, am I supposed to agree with you?
Oh, wow.
She's I'll have to let you watch the video she did
tough.
with me, because
she
scares
powerful. Grown men, so
she scares grown men.
Oh yeah,
she is. It's interesting, but yet she's nice, and then at the end she smiles, and you're like, oh, okay, we're still friends.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
like it.
Well, you don't. Yeah, you're not. You guys have different personality. What's your dad's real personality like? Is he kind of goofy, fun like you, sarcastic?
He is. I learned my sarcasm from him.
Okay.
It was his fault that I am the way I am. Sarcasm.
Yeah.
But He's the same pretty much behind closed doors as he is in real life. The dude just wants to golf and act. That's
Awesome.
all he cares about. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
he's just very laid back. As long as he goes and he can go outside, golf, do his workout, stuff like that, he's pretty happy, you know? Like,
Yeah.
it's always been fun. He was never the on top of it in the homeschooling. That was my mom. That's just what she wanted to do. And he was like, all right, you do that. I'm not going to try to butt in because,
And I'll go
you
golf.
could lose that.
And I'll go be Hercules.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's awesome. Well, I love what you're saying about homeschooling, that you felt like it was more, it prepared you more for real life. Because Brandie and I have talked about that a lot, how in school now it's like everyone gets a trophy. Everyone is being coddled. You're not learning real life finances. You're not learning how to balance checkbooks.
But we didn't learn that. But I mean, think
learned
about
a little bit of
I
that.
didn't learn any of that.
Like economics. Yeah,
No,
I did.
I mean, very little. I think that even back when I was in school a long time ago, guys.
I mean, a long time ago.
We used real books and pencils and things like that. But we honestly didn't. I never learned how to write a check or balance a checkbook, or we had back then we had shop and home ec where like you learned to cook. Like it was really traditional, right?
Yeah.
But or learn to sew, which I never learned how to make an outfit, and I failed that class. Isn't that sad?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so fashionable. You would think
Right.
I would learn how to sew,
it's
but
so sad that you don't know how to sew. It's been so crucial for you in life, Brandie. Gosh.
but I was kind of mad because how do you fail fashion class? Anyway, interesting enough, I don't think school has been preparing people for a very long time. So homeschooling was never on my radar. I didn't have the patience to do that with my children. But I champion the moms or parents out there doing it now because I think it's more crucial than ever. Yeah. And then you raise awesome conservative smart alecks like this one. I love it.
Your mom did a great job, and I think that what your parents instilled in you, as opposed to a public school system and a teacher that you don't get to pick, you're like the prime example of why homeschooling does work.
Yeah.
You're not sheltered. I mean, that one day out of the basement, you did a lot.
You did fine.
All right, guys, you're listening to the She's So Right Show. Check us out at she'ssowrightshow.com. We will be right back with special guest Braeden Sorbo.
Hey guys, we're back. You're listening to the She's So Right Show with Brandie Barclay and Lindsey Graham and special guest Braeden Sorbo, a politically incorrect comedian.
Quite funny, if I may say so.
Yes, and he's only 20 years old, you guys. And the reason why it's fun to have someone really youthful on the show is listening to somebody who has a huge following with youth on TikTok, 1.9 million subscribers or followers. I guess that's, I don't even know what do you subscribe to TikTok? I don't even know.
Follow.
So teach us a little bit about what you're doing there and how the response you're getting, Braeden.
Yeah, so TikTok itself, I started it back when I was living in New York, graduating my senior year of high school, and I was just bored because we were out there for some renovation stuff on a house before we moved to Florida officially, and I just didn't know anyone there. I just moved, and I was sitting there. It was a winter on Long Island, so all the kids were in the city, and I just decided, you know what? I'm not going to do these stupid little dances that these kids are doing because that just sucks.
Oh, gosh.
They
You
are.
know what? Can I just say praise God for that?
Thank you.
Why do I get so irritated at TikTok videos?
Because it's the beginning of the beta era.
It's
Like,
annoying.
The beta males who are like, look at me dance.
No,
with my
it's really
ears.
weird because I know it's like the really big thing, and I'm watching them, and 1 in 100 make me laugh. The rest of them, I'm like, this is embarrassing.
It is.
Could you imagine you have me on the show? You're like, Braeden Sorbo, TikTok dancer.
No. Folks, here's our generation that's going to fight the big hard fight.
No,
for
it's
us.
like I feel like, okay, so I haven't bought into it, and I know it's like the way to get more followers because the reels and all the things, and I'm going, I cannot succumb to these cheesy videos. I cannot. Like some of them, the voiceover ones, like you do a great job with those. Those are funny. Or just how you'll throw one up that a liberal does and then make fun of it. I think that's hilarious. But the moms dancing around, pointing at things, I can't. I don't know. Moms,
I feel like there's so much more productive things you could be doing. If you're
You want to know why those videos do so well?
why?
Well,
Oh,
there was a comedian, Andrew Schulz, I believe is how you pronounce his last name, talking about this. And TikTok is a Chinese-owned app, right?
Yeah.
So if you're China, wouldn't you want... TikTok is pretty much the biggest app right now. I mean, obviously, there are more platforms that are doing just as well or whatever, but overall, TikTok's the most used, especially in my generation. So wouldn't you, as China, want the U.S. to be raising a weak generation? So wouldn't you want to reward kids, guys putting on nail polish and girls doing stupid dances and stuff like that?
Wow, that is
well, they're in school and in military training.
Yeah.
Right?
The Chinese algorithm is rewarding kids for doing mathematical, scientific, engineering videos, right? So in China, their algorithm is promoting ingenuity and creativity. Whereas in America, all a girl has to do is stand in a bikini and jump up and down 3 times, and she gets 1 million likes.
Oh my gosh, that's insanely scary.
It
and
is
videos like mine, where I'm putting thought into it, I'm making people think, and I'm doing these dark jokes that make people go, "Whoa, that was a little hot," you know? Those videos aren't rewarded as well because I'm doing something where people would have to pay attention to the video.
And they would have to think critically. Not just laugh.
Just screen and double tap it when you see a guy with a skirt on.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's alarming. Where did you find this kind of information for people like us who just are so naive about these kind of things?
Yeah, so this one was when that comedian Andrew Schulz was talking. He was actually doing an interview about it as well. And he has a TikTok, but he's more just doing stand-up where he posts some clips and stuff. And he specifically goes after them on this platform. And it shows because I did some research and found some articles that prove this, where the algorithm in China is completely different than the algorithm in America because it promotes different video styles, video types, you know, and so that's what's scary to me.
Yeah, wow. Well, that's amazing. And what they're not figuring out is that by censoring us and silencing us, you're only training us to work harder to get our voice out there.
Well, you're training some of us, but most of the world
gives up.
Is just like we're ignorant to what's happening. Can you imagine? Like, not saying again that we're like political savants all the time, but I'm just saying if we're completely clueless to what China's doing with TikTok, and like you said, girls just get naked and their numbers go up, and over there they have a different rule, a different standard. It's warfare. It's warfare. It's new warfare, right
in front of us without us even realizing it. Yeah,
exactly.
That is alarming.
One of our last guests explained that the powers that be just want Americans weak, fat, and stupid, and
it's working.
It's working.
Yeah. Instead of going to the gym or homeschooling my kids or cooking a nice healthy meal, I'm going to do this dance on TikTok and see how many likes I can get. As if it just changed your life.
See, it makes me not want to do it even more. Thank God.
Okay, we are going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with Braeden Sorbo. We're going to talk about his upcoming film. And you're listening to the She's So Right show with Brandie Barkley and Lindsey Graham. Hey guys, welcome back to the She's So Right show. We've got special guest Braeden Sorbo calling in from Florida, beautiful Florida, free Florida. We're getting ready to talk about his upcoming film, Left Behind, Rise of the Antichrist. And
I already want to see it just because the title's so awesome.
I know. Anything Antichrist is like so intriguing to me because biblically we know it's going to happen. And my mind can't process that even though we've been told something's going to happen, people are still going to be dumb enough to fall for it. So I'm intrigued by this. But Braeden, this is part of the whole Left Behind series. Are you in any of the other Left Behinds?
So this is a complete revamp.
Okay.
So the story, the characters, everything is different. It's not connected
to
the Left Behind movies rather than the Left Behind books. So this is based on the third book where the rapture's already happened, and now we're getting into the whole one world order thing. And so it's pretty cool because there's a lot of connections into what's happening right now in 2022 with COVID and everything like that. There's some pretty cool tie-ins.
Yeah. So the original Left Behind that I tried to watch with Kirk Cameron. So is that based on the book series as well?
I think so.
I guess that's not a question.